Yo, what's going on? And welcome to the Reformat channel. Today's video, we're going to take a look at yet another Avengers team, the Secret Avengers. And yeah, I did tease this in my last video, which was on the all-new, all-different Avengers. Check that out if you haven't. But yeah, we're just going to take a look at this team and who's in it. Steve Rogers brought this team together and recruited some trusted heroes who were former Avengers, X-Men, and S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Who was kind of believed to be dead after the events of the first Civil War. But now he does covert missions with this team, the Secret Avengers. This is a very short run, actually, by Ed Brubaker. It is split into 2 volumes. So the first volume puts the team in Mars, where Nova investigates an SOS from a laboratory settlement, and the rest of the team follows to investigate. And the second volume focuses on the aftermath of those events and kind of like Shang-Chi's family affairs mixed in with Captain America's past. In case you guys want to read it, I'm not going to spoil too much of the story. But yeah, instead, let's take a look at these figures. And first up, we got Sharon Carter. She's sort of the team handler / coordinator. So she basically kind of runs the home base and directs the team during their missions, providing them with intel and assistance remotely in their secret base. So she's kind of like an integral part of S.H.I.E.L.D. before, and is now part of the Secret Avengers. I think she used to be the director there before Maria Hill took over. But yeah, it's also reference that she might be in a relationship with Steve Rogers or Captain America, kind of like at the beginning of the story. So that could be why she joined the team. Anything that requires scientific or analytical skills, that's where Beast kind of comes in. With his background experience with X-Men, he kind of assists the team in figuring situations out that require critical thinking or required fast solutions, kind of thing. After hearing rumors actually that Hasbro may be releasing an Astonishing X-Men figure, that's kind of exciting, because the last couple of releases were just like rehashes, and it'd be good to have like one of his modern looks. Up next, we got Black Widow and Valkyrie, who are kind of shown in one of the first missions in the story that they're close combat partners. They kind of work with each other and they work well. Black Widow, as we know, is a master trained assassin and worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. Valkyrie, who is from Asgard, is kind of like godlike powers. Kind of makes her the kind of like a team's tank, or the group's tank. She handles any of the super strength enemies that come their way, and then Black Widow is just kind of there to pick them off, right? Hasbro really needs to update this Valkyrie figure, though. It's been from 2026, I think this one released. That's it's over 10 years. Hopefully sometime soon there will be something in the works. Nova plays a big part in the first volume of the story, as he is part of the Nova Corps. I guess you could say these guys are kind of like space police. And he's the first responder to the events that happen in the Mars. And that's kind of how the story progresses, without spoiling anything. The figure I chose of this is the older Richard Rider figure. Unfortunately, I don't have the more recent one that came out. Actually, not too recent anymore. I think it was like 2017 or something like that. But nonetheless, I kind of like this one a little bit better, just because it came with a little bit more accessories. So Nova is kind of like the other tank as well, the team. But unfortunate events have happened, as you will find out if you do read the story. Shang-Chi is the main focus of Volume 2 in this story arc. And it kind of revolves around his family issues and how it affects the story's progression. Kind of like tying it in also with Captain America's past. So yeah, he's the master of martial arts and doesn't need any weapons to defeat his opponents, which kind of makes him a good recruit for the Secret Avengers and one of the toughest members. Other members of the team unfortunately didn't get much of a spotlight in the storyline. War Machine, who, like Iron Man, is the main damage dealer when it comes to firepower and arsenal versatility, but unlike Iron Man, most of his weapons are kind of more traditional, like machine guns, rocket launchers, and all that, whereas Iron Man is mainly energy type weapons. And then we've got Ant-Man, who is the comic relief in the team. Every team's got to have one, but he does what he does best with his suit's ability. And then we've got Moon Knight, who is probably one of the more underrated heroes. And again, a lot of what he can do was not highlighted in the storyline. There are different versions of him. I think the one from Marvel Knights, he's just a regular dude in a suit who is rich and crafts his own gadgets and just really good at martial arts. But I guess the more recent versions of him kind of highlight a little bit more that with his connection to ancient powers, like with Khonshu using his Ankh and abilities, with enhanced powers and all that stuff. And other versions actually rely on how full the moon is. That will depend how strong he is. Yeah, and then the last character was the Prince of Orphans, who was a new character that they introduced in Volume 2. He can turn into green mist, phase in and out of walls and stuff like that. He's more for the stealth type. But honestly, other than reading the storyline, I don't know too much about him. So that was the Secret Avengers in a nutshell. Again, it was a very short storyline, only 2 volumes, but I enjoyed reading it and building this display around it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too, as well. Summer's been really busy, and I haven't had much time actually putting these videos in, but I've got some interesting stuff upcoming. Hopefully you guys will check those out, and my past videos as well. I always do appreciate those who support, and yeah, hope to see you guys later. Anyways, that's all I got. There you go.